Hello there guys, Elita Legionarii here, and today I am bringing you a 2 vs 2 for Medieval 2 Total War. I realise I've probably been focusing a little bit more on Rome Total War, and it's not really intentional. It's probably just because I'm in the mood for Rome Total War at the moment, but of course I'm not going to be neglecting Medieval 2 because it also will be affected by the Game Spy incident that's coming up on the 31st of May. So this is a 2v2 that myself, playing as Poland, and the SwedishLandSknekt playing as Egypt, did a wee while ago now, but it was a really good game. With just a string of good games, so I'll be uploading them. And our opponents are Spain, commanded by X-Men 112233, and Venus, commanded by Loki SD123. Now we were actually a bit disadvantaged here because I could not for the life of me remember which of the desert maps was either the one that you got to start at the host side starts at the bottom, which turned out to be this one, or the other one. I didn't actually want this one, but I figured in the message I said we were talking to Swede, I think we were in Steam chat at the time, and I said to him, this could be the wrong map, so let's build a rush army, because otherwise if we go for a missile build on this map, especially against Spain and Venus, you're going to get thrashed because they already have the high ground at the beginning. So we went completely for rush. And I chose Poland for this because actually Poland's a very good rush faction, very powerful cavalry, which is the essential component to any rush and any real army in Medieval 2 anyway, but especially with a rush army, so Poland's actually a very good choice because they're very high powered cavalry, and they've got very capable heavy infantry and the dismounted Polish knights. I see too many people who play as Poland bring Lithuanian archers and arquebusiers and stuff and bring like 6-7 missiles. Don't do that, because Poland is like one of the worst missile factions in the game. The only time Poland's any good at missiles is when you're allowed to bring a whole lot of missile cavalry, which usually are limited to 2 per player. So as a missile faction, Poland is a very poor choice, but as a rush faction, very powerful cavalry, very capable heavy infantry, very good rush faction. So I would highly recommend using Poland in a rush, very capable, but not really anything else. You can use them in a siege, of course, because they've got good infantry. But if you're going for a missile kind of skirmishing, drawn-out kind of fight, choose someone else, because unless you had lots of horse archers, Poland's not going to fit that bill very well. But great rush faction. Swedes, he's using Egypt. Now Egypt is good for rushing as well, because as you can see, they've got the Royal Mamluks, some of the best cavalry in the game. Not the best, but very near the best. The Mamluks are also very good. Of course, bodyguards are always good. And of course, Nafatoons work really well in a rush. He's got 4 of those, and he's got the 2-handed Tabateria. Now, ordinarily in a long protracted melee duel, I wouldn't recommend 2-handed units, but they're not bad in a rush because of that whole shock value helps to make the rush get momentum. So not a bad choice there at all. And then he's got his meat shield of halberds, which is always good as a meat shield because they can hold units up for a very long time. Then he's got some Nubian spearmen as well. It's okay as a missile faction, but pretty low quality archers. Again, much like Poland, I would recommend Egypt in a rush as well. These two are really good at rush factions, so that's why we chose them. I actually didn't outline my army. I got 2 units of town militia screening my force. I got 4 woodsmen just to get some shock value off the charge, and then follow up with 5 units of dismounted Polish knights just for that heavy hitting factor. I believe I got 2 units of dismounted Polish noble spearmen mixed into my cavalry here, just to make sure the cavalry fight's a decisive knockout, which is what you have to have for a rush. And then I got 4 of the superb Polish guard and a general's bodyguard. So it's very, very good cavalry units there, and some pretty good heavy hitters of those dismounted Polish knights, but the rest of it's pretty much junk. The Polish nobles spearmen will be useful, but they're not great. They're decent, they'll do their job, but I don't use them that often. Spain, the Spanish army here consists of 2 peasant archers on the flanks. I'm not really sure why he bothered. I would recommend just putting the rest of excess money on upgrades rather than them, but who knows. Then 3 musketeers, a very good choice on this map and very dangerous. Then 4 tertio pikes, and then I believe it was 4 units of dismounted conquistadors. Always a dangerous faction. Great at rushing, it's great at skirmish, it's great at balance. It's just absolutely superb faction. Best faction in the game. It'll work everywhere. You just got to make sure you depends on your opponent you're fighting. His cavalry, he's got 3 units of chivalric knights here, and then he's got 2 way out here on the far right. I have no idea why he deployed them this far away. This really costs him badly in this fight. We exploit this pretty recklessly. I mean, not recklessly, sorry, ruthlessly. We weren't reckless in this fight, we were ruthless. Then the Venetian player, he's got Pubby's crossbowmen, 4 of those, and he's got some Knights Hospitaller, and I believe where are they? 2 Stradiots, always very, very dangerous indeed. Then you've got dismounted field knights, Venetian archers, and some Venetian heavy infantry all sort of mingled in together. Again, a very, very dangerous faction, very good at both rushing and mixed balance builds and skirmishing builds, very capable in all areas as well. So these two definitely have the cavalry advantage and the terrain advantage. However, we are all out rush, so I'm going to begin this now. I do apologise for the long-winded approach there, but I just want to kind of explain those little things. So we're going to start rushing straight away. Swedes is going to be good out here too. He's in the desert, which helps him, which is great for him. We saw the Spanish player had these 2 cav way out here, so I said to Swedes, I said he's only got 3 chivalric knights here. I'll send all my Polish guard and my bodyguard, and you send perhaps like a couple of your Mamluks, Royal Mamluks, and we'll just absolutely smash through his the Spanish player's right flank or our left, and then just hopefully kind of wrap around with that cav there. Because Swedes will have enough cav, as you see, he's sending his bodyguard and 2 regular Mamluks to kind of counteract the Stradiots and other lights out there. Because I mean, what we want to do here is, because these Spanish infantry are going to be able to hold up all our infantry for quite a long time, but once we pin them up, we'll just use Swedes and Afatoons to cause a chain rout, and we of course get our cavalry behind and smash them into them. So as you can see, the timer, I don't know, screen resolution might not be big enough for you to see it, but we're already nearly halfway through the battle and we haven't even begun the engagement, so it was very quick. So I don't know what the Spanish player is doing with these 2 cav. He still keeps sending them way around here. Maybe he's looking to get rid of some missile units, but of course we don't have missile units, so I don't know what he was trying to do there. So I begin the rush out, begin the engagement out here. Most of my woodsmen were out on contact, but they had drawn most of the gunfire so that our other units will hold in there and fight harder and longer. So over here, as you can see, I've charged into these chivalric knights. I'm going to push up my bodyguard around behind, counter his bodyguard here. Swede support's in here, and I've got my spearmen coming in, my 3 units of spear units to come and help. And as you can see, the Spanish cav out here is very, very quickly becoming done in this fight. It's absolutely going to smash by overwhelming numbers, and we also have more powerful cavalry fighting him as well, so there's no way they can win that fight. Over here, Swedes has got in a bit of a scrap with some of these Hospitaller Knights. He'll win that with his Mamluks, but Stradiots could be dangerous. They should probably be able to destroy Mamluks, unless Swedes gets kind of a bit lucky there. But I've left a unit of Polish Guard to come and help Swedes, so he's going to get a bit outflanked there, but my Polish Guard's got his back, so he's alright. As you can see, the Spanish player's holding us up for quite a while. The Venetian's supporting with his infantry in the flank there just to try and cover his flanks, but that just means we can use our cav against them. It doesn't really matter. As you can see, we're tearing up what's left of these guys. He's put some, I believe, Conquistador in here against my spearmen. I leave that to be, because that means keeps his one of his most heaviest infantry units out of the fight. While me and Swedes just tear into the flanks. As you can see, we've broken through on this flank over here. Mostly due to Swedes' Nafatoons just basically causing a mess rout. Over here, as you can see between our cav, we're keeping this Venetian cavalry out of the game, and it has to get over here and rescue his ally. As you can see up here, the Venetian player's got some of his missile units, so I just decide let's just try and get rid of a few of those, but we'll send the rest of our cav to go get rid of these infantry units and try and break through out here. As you can see, most of Swede's guys are engaged, most of my guys are kind of backing him, so he's getting more of the frontline action there, but my cav's doing a lot of work out in the flanks. And as you can see, we can easily just start tearing up these units. As you can see, the Venetian infantry is starting to break because they had no cover from our cavalry, and repeated charges just broke it up. And of course the Nafatoons are causing mass routs all around the place for the Spanish infantry. And I believe I charge in here, get a nice rout here. I've got my cav all over them, all over these missile units of Venus, charging in and out. And I think in a few moments the Venetian player just admits defeat. As you can see, we've wrapped him up. There you go, he missed defeat, but he would have lost all these guys pretty much right away, you know, because we would have just poured our cavalry into them once we'd broken the Spanish player. So, I mean, the Spanish player had these 2 units of cav. Look, they're only just getting over here now. So, I mean, he really made it even easier task for us to just take this fight, because he left his guys way too far away. I mean, if I think this is either like desert dunes or Sahara sands or Lebanon. I always get it muddled. Sweden's going to counter that, these guys anyway with his cav, but he missed defeat at this point anyway, and we're just mopping up. But if you're on this map and the host, you always start down the bottom like me and Swedes did. I recommend rushing, because it's actually very hard. We got pretty lucky there a bit with some of those guys, because the way those units were kind of deployed there made it a bit easier for us. So if you're on this map though, I recommend rushing, but be careful, because some skilled players can really tear you up even if you do rush. It's a pretty hard map for the host side. So as you can see, I got 430 kills, 101 captures, but Swedes took the day for the most part with 579, 241 kills. But it was a team effort, and we had a pretty well thought out strategy there. We just go out for an out and out rush and use a massive cavalry wing out there on our left and try and smash through the Spanish right, which worked out very well. And once that happened, they had no way to stop us. Of course, his Nafatoons were great, causing a nice rout. As you can see, they didn't get that many killed. Well, they did actually get similar kills to us. I take that back, but it was pretty one-sided for the most part. As you can see, for me, my cavalry got most of the kills, captures as well. My Polish Knights actually didn't do very much except for this unit here. The Woodsmen, I suspect, would have got all destroyed because they mass routed under that gunfire, but that was fine. They were part of the meat shield and shock value. But the Nafatoons were probably the most vital tool we had there, because we were definitely outclassed in infantry, but we had that cavalry supremacy and we used it very effectively. So good game to Swedes, Loki SD and X-Men. I shall link Swedes' channel in the description. Be sure to drop by and check it out, guys. An awesome channel and a great variety of your Total War and various other bits and pieces that you might enjoy as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be bringing you some more Medieval 2 soon. So see you soon next time.